Currently, Senate Bill 176 in Alaska was introduced by Republican Representative John Coghill. This bill would essentially allow weapons on University of Alaska campuses. Currently, universities do not allow guns in any form on their campuses. I'm making this speech to say that we should discourage the passing of this bill and let our representatives know that Senate Bill 176 is not a good idea for our schools and campuses of learning in Alaska. Currently, on the University of Alaska campuses, there's a violent crime rate involving guns of 0.017 or 0.07 out of 100,000, and this is compared to the state number of 1.1 out of 100,000. So currently campuses are already safer than the rest of the state. This goes to show that the university not allowing guns makes it a safe environment compared to the rest of the state, and it should stay that way. I'm making a speech saying that Senate Bill 176 is not needed, and all it would do is encourage an unsafe and uncomfortable environment for students at the University of Alaska. To say the campus is already safe would be an understatement. It's exceptionally safe compared to the rest of the United States and Alaska, as the figure I gave you earlier showed. That figure is from the Daily News Miner paper in town, citing Alaska figures. There are also national figures that the rate of violence involving guns is 0.07 per 100,000 on campuses nationwide, while the national number of population as a whole is 5.7 out of 100,000. That shows that campuses across the nation are safer, whether they allow guns or not. Campuses make up their own rules, but in general they don't allow guns, and it's a safer environment for children. On my visual aid, you can see a map of the United States showing laws pertaining to guns on campuses. And as you can see, Alaska allows universities to make up their own rules right now. This bill would change that. That map is from armedcampuses.com, and it shows how there isn't exactly any correlation between violence and the allowance of guns on campus, but that campuses are generally safer without guns. I believe that also guns would be a detriment to safety and comfort on campus for students, that just the presence of guns will cause discomfort and in a place of learning. A figure I'd like to, or a stat I'd like to present from the campaign to keep guns off campus from a study shows that for every one use of a gun in self-defense, there are 7 uses in homicide or attempted homicide, 11 uses in suicide or attempted suicides, and 4 accidental incidents with guns. That's a total of 22 negative incidences with guns or compared to 1, which is a large difference, and just the absence of guns can take away that number of incidents. Essentially, this means there's more risk when guns are present on campus, and risk can cause discomfort and a negative environment for learning. And something all humans want is a positive environment and a safe environment for learning, and allowing guns would detract from that. Another point is that guns, concealed carry licensed people do not exactly enhance safety. In the event of violence with a gun, it would most likely be impulsive, drug or alcohol related, or premeditated, and this wouldn't exactly be dissuaded by knowing there's other concealed guns on campus. Likely for any of those reasons, there wouldn't be any thought of, oh, will I run into someone with a concealed gun? It will just happen, and that will not do anything to really dissuade someone looking to act violently with a gun. A stat from the Violence Policy Center I'd like to cite is that since May 2007, concealed carry permitted people have killed 14 police officers, 485 regular citizens, and 35 suicides have taken place by concealed carry permit holders. 23 mass shootings have also been attributed to concealed carry permit holders. These stats go to show that allowing concealed carry guns in an environment does not exactly make it safer or add to anyone else's safety. There's also legal precedents involved in allowing guns on campuses. I'd like to directly quote some statements from the Supreme Court on different cases involving guns. This first one is from Washington, D.C. versus Heller, and the quote is, "Nothing in our opinion could be taken to cast doubt on long-standing prohibitions or laws forbidding firearms in places such as schools." This is them saying that the Second Amendment does not allow guns everywhere, and that there are limitations in sensitive areas like schools or places of business. Another quote from the case McDonald versus Chicago says, "The Second Amendment allows for reasonable restrictions on firearms, including who can have them, under what conditions, and where they can be taken." This also shows that there are limitations on where guns can be taken, and it leaves it open for debate where, but schools, places of business, public gatherings can be included in that. That the Second Amendment does not guarantee you're allowed to bring a weapon to those places. Basically, I'm saying that people should be aware and compassionate for providing safe and comfortable environments for their peers, especially at a school, a place of higher learning, where it's important that everyone feels safe and comfortable to accomplish what they're trying to do. The statistics and things I brought up beforehand show that bringing guns onto campus will not make it safer and only increases the risks of gun violence occurring, whether it be accidental or premeditated. I'm urging people to let John Coghill know that you want a safe university environment and that you do not want Senate Bill 176 to pass. You should voice your opinion and let your representatives know that you want a safe school environment. Schools are places of learning and should not be hampered by fears of danger or uncomfortable situations. Just imagine if your school was a place where everyone could carry a gun. Would you feel unsafe by an accidental shooting or anything that could make you uncomfortable? I believe it would hamper your schooling experience. My visual aid also shows a number and email address for contacting John Coghill, and I urge you to let him know that you do not want guns on your school campuses.